It's been a while. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks. I apologize. I feel like I apologize for this very same thing a lot.
Every time.
It is what it is. You know this if you follow me for a while by now. Buying whiskey can be more expensive than Kardashian's Botox bill. More than P. Diddy's legal fees. Point is, whiskey these days gets expensive, folks. So today, we're going to take a look. I wouldn't say these are all budget. Some of these are budget, but we're going to look at 10 whiskeys that punch well above their weight class. A lot of bang for your buck.
Bang for your buck.
Bang for your buck. That's where it's at. 10 whiskeys that are a lot of bang for your buck. P. Diddy, stay away from the banging. I think you already got in trouble for that. First up, now here's the deal. I'm gonna move this ashtray over here so we can put the bottle we're talking about right here in the middle. I don't even feel like I need to talk about this. I mean, do we really need to say anything else about Wild Turkey 101? If you're not into whiskey, you probably think this is shit. You probably see this and you're like, oh, that's that stuff when we were teenagers we drank. If you're into whiskey, you know this is probably one of the most budget bangers that whiskey has ever created. Every time we blind taste this,
it wins.
It wins. You can see a couple of our videos we've done in the past. It's like 25 bucks. It's non-age stated, of course, but it is a blend of like 6 to 8 year old bourbons. 101 proof. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to waste
And it's what we recommend all the time for
everything.
Yeah.
It's great in cocktails because the 101 proof, and it's got a nice little bit of spiciness to it, so it really cuts through in a cocktail really well. It's good neat. It's good on the rocks.
And you don't feel bad using it in cocktails because wallet friendly.
Hence the Save the Stag shirt. She tries to put my stag in cocktails. This you could pour to people that aren't whiskey lovers. You don't feel bad about giving people this because you don't want to give people that don't appreciate.
They don't really do.
Yeah, you know, they don't really like whiskey or appreciate whiskey. You're not going to give them a pour of a bottle that costs you $450. This, pour freely. You can get a handle of this shit for like $32.
You can't beat it.
Can't beat it. Bang for the buck. Wild Turkey 101 for the fucking win. The big brother of Wild Turkey 101, Wild Turkey Rare Breed. A little more expensive. Here's the deal. I still think it's a lot of bang for your buck. It is about 50 to 55 bucks, depending on where you live and whatever, somewhere in that range. So I wouldn't call it a budget whiskey. Again, non-age stated. I think this one is like 6 to 12 year blend of bourbon, something like that. This one comes in at 116 proof, which is barrel proof for this whiskey. Wild Turkey, from what I understand, has a somewhat lower barrel entry proof of around 107 to 115, which ends up giving you a slightly lower barrel proof. Think of Wild Turkey, but like amped up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's still got that nice sweet and spicy thing going on. A little bit of some caramel sweetness, like little citrus punch in there. Even like a little touch of tobacco and leather at times, which is one of the reasons I love it, of course. Let's get a quick little quick little nip before we move on. We're not going to drink all these because there are 10 of them and we'd be like shit-faced by the time of it. See, it even smells. Wild Turkey just does the shit. It's nice. There's like almost like a fruity sweetness in it at times. There's a little bit of that spice from the rye. You should definitely have one of these on your shelf.
It's delicious.
Made
my eyes water because that's the first little sip I've had.
Before we move on to whiskey number 3, you will notice, shameless plug, our new Whisky glasses that we just came out with. The reason I mentioned that is because the sponsor of today's video is our good friends at
Whisky.
If you're looking for high quality glasses or barware of any kind, look no further, my friends, because the good folks at Whisky have got you covered. It's the one reason we chose these guys to go with when we do our whiskey tasting glasses that are our merch, that have our logos on them. Best whiskey tasting glasses.
Yes.
On the planet.
Fave.
Allison won't even drink out of a Glencairn
Don't
anymore.
give me no Glen. I don't want it.
She wants a damn whiskey. They consult with professional bartenders when they're making their products, so everything is really well thought out, functional, and looks freaking sweet. Funny story, and I've told this story before, but it bears repeating. We started using these Whisky glasses and fell in love with them. Then one day I was going to go on Amazon and order, Allison had bought some rocks glasses that she really, really loves, and she's like, I want more of them. So I go on Amazon to hit reorder so we could get more. And it turned out those were actually made by Whisky also. We didn't even know when we originally ordered them. So not just the whiskey tasting glasses, but
all of their
it's all
barware
great.
glasses. They're beautiful.
Whether you need tasting glasses, rocks glasses, flasks, decanters, cocktail smoking kits. I think they even have some ice cube trays and stuff for big ice cubes.
Yeah.
Whisky has got
It's a one-stop shop.
one-stop shop. And because the folks at Whisky are sponsoring this video, they did give me a code to help you guys out when you're shopping to save you a little bit of cash. So check the links I'm going to put down below. Use code Jeremy15 to save 15% on their site. Big thanks to the folks at Whisky for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel and allowing us to have a really nice glass to drink all the whiskey and the rest of this video out of. On to the next whiskey. Moving off of the good folks at Wild Turkey, although honestly, there are several other whiskeys that I think could probably fit on this list if I wanted to make the list longer from Wild Turkey. I really think Long Branch is kind of an underrated banger.
Love Long Branch.
I've really grown to love that whiskey, but for the sake of brevity and not to seem like I'm a complete fucking sellout for Wild Turkey, we're switching over to one of my other favorite brands, the good folks at Brown-Forman and Old Forester 1920. Here's the deal. I know some of these are probably whiskeys you guys have seen on the list over and over. 1920 is on every whiskey list ever made on YouTube.
Yeah.
And there's a reason. It's fucking great. And it's $60. So again, not a budget one, but lots of bang for your buck.
Yeah.
It's part of their Whiskey Row series, non-age dated, banging it at 115 proof. It's got that nice oak, sweet caramel, almost a banana note that comes through in a lot of Brown-Forman products for me sometimes. It's got a nice nuttiness. We'll take a quick swig. We'll take a quick little swish of it just because I can't ever have a bottle of this open in front of me without just taking a little sip. Don't none of you bitches make fun of our tiny little sips. We're just doing a little taste because we're trying to move through these quickly. Oh God, it's just so good. Oh, your palate.
It's very like bananas Foster or something.
Doesn't it almost get a banana? A lot of Brown-Forman gives me, it's giving banana.
It's like brown sugar.
As kids are saying,
giving bananas
these
Foster.
kids are saying these days, giving. When I hear that, by the way, I want to give them a fucking smack in the throat.
Man.
Oh God. Dude,
I'm telling you.
That shit.
It's a steal.
I mean, $60.
It's a steal.
I know
that's good.
It's not budget, but fuck, it's a good whiskey. It's a ton of bang for your buck, and everybody should just have one in their collection.
Yep.
Now, coming back down in price, back under that $30 mark we were just talking about, another great Old Forester product that is a little more in the wheelhouse for the budget-minded, at usually about $25 to maybe $30, $27 a bottle. Old Forester 100 or Old Forester Signature, some people call it. Non-age stated, 100 proof, hence the Old Forester 100. I don't know if you've ever had this one, so I'm going to pour a little bit of this for you. It reminds me a little bit of 1920, but if it was toned back, you still get lots of that oak. You get caramel, you get some pecan, touches of fruit. It's nice. It's not as good as 1920 though, but it's, half the price. It's still that standard Old Forester awesomeness.
Yeah.
I mean, for a $27 bottle, kind of falls in that Wild Turkey 101 category where you could put this in a drink and not feel bad about it. It's 100 proof, so it cuts through.
Solid choice.
What did you think about it? It's the first time you had it.
Yeah, it's good.
You said it's good.
Well, because I just had the 1920.
It is. When you drink it back to back with 1920, that's definitely a tough.
I prefer the other, but I mean, this is good. It's a hitter.
It's a hitter.
It's a hitter.
And bang for the buck, 27 bucks.
Exactly.
It's on the list.
Early Times Bottled and Bond.
This is another one that it's been on a lot of whiskey lists, and if it hasn't, they were wrong. I mean, this shit is $17 for a liter.
Dang.
A little bit more than 17 these days. Back when I bought this when it was 17, I think now they're upwards of maybe $20 to $23, but still, that's $23 for a liter. We're not talking about a $7.50. So when you're talking sub 25 bucks for a liter, now this was made by Brown-Forman, and if I'm remembering correctly,
which is Old Forester, right?
Yeah, but it was bought out by Sazerac, so this is actually from my stock from back when it was owned by Brown-Forman. I've heard that it's very similar though. Since Sazerac bought it, they kept it very similar. I have heard some people say they like the older bottles just a little bit better. Coming in at 100 proof because it's a bottle and bond. I get the red runts in this one sometimes. I know you guys pick on me about my red runt.
I do get like a red fruit.
It's like a red fruit. I get on this a lot of times. Some oak.
Just like exhaled in the bottle. Yeah, my eyes like.
You're like I fucking pepper sprayed myself. If you don't like that, I don't know what to tell you.
That's smooth.
It's smooth, it's fruity, it's sweet.
I don't think I have had that.
Nice little bit of oak on the back end that kind of like balances out the sweetness a little bit. This used to be Sean and Dan. I know
like
definitely Sean from Bourbon Junkies. This was one of Sean's favorites. He loves this shit. It is delicious.
Yeah.
And for sub $25 for a liter, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. I mean, steal.
Giving it away.
Now, very important. Early times bottle and bond, not normal early times. The bottle to bond, blue label, looks like this.
Looks like this.
Like this. Here's the deal. Some of you guys are going to start bitching and moaning a little bit because this one's like $70. Remember,
not budget.
This is not a budget list. This is a bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Worth the money. I was reading reviews about this back a little while ago, and I read a couple reviews where people said they did not like this.
Really?
Yeah, they gave it.
It's one of my favorites.
It is one. Allison said when we were in between whiskeys, she said, "Ooh, Penelope Toasted. This is like a list of all my favorites." She loves this stuff, and I do too. I'm a big fan of any like double oaked, toasted, and you'll see a reoccurring theme on this list. There's several toasted or double oaked. It is MGP juice that the Penelope uses to make this guy. It comes in at 100 proof, and it is a toasted product. So it's been barreled, and then once it's done maturing, they put it in a second toasted barrel. This one says actually it's a heavy toast. The second barrel is a char level 5 heavy toast, which gives them that really nice, sweet, maple syrupy. It brings out a lot of those
so yummy.
Wood sugars and stuff. It's just so good. I don't know what fucking review where somebody said, this stuff was horrible. They must have just had a cat turd in their mouth before they took a swig of this stuff, because there's no damn way you can't say that's good.
It's delicious.
It's delicious. Mapley, there's oak in there. It's just all the good things.
They're like, I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know.
Go ahead. I was going to wait. She hates it because she's always bad.
I'm not good at it, but the toastiness.
The toastiness.
I'm not good at describing it, but basically, they should charge more.
I mean, that's just a good whiskey. Now, a lot of the stuff on this list you guys have probably or maybe heard of, because some of these are very popular whiskeys that are on a lot. I did try to pick a few, though, like the Penelope and stuff. Maybe you haven't seen that on a lot of people's list. I tried not to make this list exactly like every list like this you've seen. Still, Austin is one that maybe you guys haven't heard of.
You should.
You should, though. They're great. I know there's 2 bottles up here, so I'm kind of cheating on this one. Their bourbon you can usually get for around $40, and their barrel strength is only around $50. They've also got a rye, which I didn't put up here because I felt bad for putting more than 2 up here. They've got a rye that's about the $45 to $50 mark. They got a whole bunch of stuff. $40 and $50. The value proposition is bananas, okay?
So good.
Bananas. These are, obviously from the name Still Austin, these are made in Texas. And apparently in Texas, they make squeaky corks. This is not like any Texas whiskey I've had. I always say I could tell when a whiskey's made in Texas because it's got what I call the Texas funk. I've heard a lot of people.
Got a little wang.
I mean, and that's not anything I coined. I've heard other people say the same thing. But Texas, I think because of the heat, a lot of their whiskeys have a distinct note. It's kind of an earthy, musty, dark leather note that a lot of Texas. I don't dislike it. I think it's nice, but it's something that's in a lot of Texas whiskeys. From what I've had of Still Austin so far, none of their whiskeys have that in there. So I don't know what magic they're doing to make it taste different than every other Texas whiskey I've ever had. The head distiller from Still Austin on our live stream one night. Really good guy. It's a great company. Everything there is like farm to bottle. They source all the ingredients there locally in Texas. Really cool people, cool product, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
Brown sugar, sweet, vanilla, some definite rye spice coming through. A nice wood note on the back. I mean, I don't know that you can get a better bottle of bourbon for $40.
It's so good.
And I think they even won some awards.
Yeah. Well, this right here.
No, that's a certified Texas whiskey.
Oh, I thought it said best or something.
No, I thought they won some gold medal somewhere. I mean,
they've won some awards, yeah.
What does that say? 90 proof? God damn, I can't see.
98.4.
98.
I had to really concentrate.
98.4 for $40, and their cask strength is 50. Shit, you got to read that too. 118, I think it says.
Maybe 110.
Maybe neither one of us can fucking see anymore.
No, I think it's 118.
118. Their cask strength is
118.
118 for like
That's so sad.
50-ish bucks. A lot of value in those bottles. They're great people. Definitely try out some Still Austin.
Highly recommend.
Highly recommend. Here's another one that, while this one is popular, I have not seen it on a lot of people's lists, and it really should be. Sagamore, Jesus Christ.
What you don't want.
Yeah, what you don't want is
Sagamore.
Sagamore Double Oak. And here we go with me with these double oaked products because I just love.
He loves it.
Dude, I love them. You do too. The double oak products are they're just good. Get that dark, deep color to them.
Pouring me a little heavy. A little heavy compared to you, buddy.
Not age stated, but it is a rye, so it's at least 51% rye. 96 proof. Always gives me nice, sweet maple vibes, molasses, pancakey sweetness. Nice kick of the spice due to all that rye that's in here.
I love a rye, too. Rye is like
oh, man, you
my
can smell
jam.
the rye in this one.
So good.
She's a rye girl. That
Yes.
one's got a spicy,
like-
it's got a spicy fruitiness that some of the other stuff we've had so far doesn't have. I think it's because this is probably the heaviest rye we've had thus far.
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
almost like this juicy
I can see
fruit
that.
kind of note I get in rye sometimes, but along with like this super sweet mapley thing because of the double
I
oak.
do get that. I remember the first time you said that, I was
Yeah.
like, yes. But I would have never
Yeah.
picked that out.
It's delicious. And it's like $60 a bottle. Again, not budget, but a lot of bang for your buck. If you haven't checked out the guys at Sagamore, they make a bunch of good stuff, but I personally recommend you start with the double oak. Now, you can't get through a list without including a little bit of Knob Creek somewhere. They've been around forever. They make a lot of good shit. Particularly, one of my favorites is their store picks. It's like a single barrel store pick. So obviously this isn't gonna be exactly the same as what you get. They're usually about $70. And I think their store pick 9-year single barrels are kind of the sweet spot. And I mean, for 120 proof, these guys are smooth.
I don't know that I'm familiar with this one.
Smooth. You had this for the first time yesterday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and you were like, damn, that's really smooth. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I get a ton of like creamy, rich sweetness in this. Brown sugar, cinnamon, oak, all the shit you'd expect from good bourbon. And
She smells good.
and because it's 120 proof, you get a nice little Kentucky hug there at the end. Dense sweetness. Very sweet. And remarkably smooth for 120 proof.
Still got a kick, though.
It's got a kick. You get that little Kentucky hug, but I mean, she goes down easy.
She goes down.
She
real
goes down
smooth.
real smooth, Clark. She's real smooth.
Yeah.
Knob Creek makes a lot of good stuff. But like I said, for me, the sweet spot for the money is their store picks, their single barrel store picks. Then I believe most of them are 9 years. Delicious. And last but certainly not least, this is a pretty new one to me. Not long ago, saw a bunch of hubbub on the interwebs, on the YouTubes, about this new Jim Beam Black. Jim Beam Black has changed more than Michael Jackson changed his nose. I mean, Jim Beam Black has gone through 30 different revisions. It was a 9-year at one point. They called it like extra aged at one point. Like they change it all the time. But the newest version of Jim Beam Black is this Jim Beam Black 7. And the bottle is, I don't know. I personally think this is one of the best looking ones they've had.
I do. I like the label.
I
like how
like-
it's like matte.
It's
and
like
then
matte.
shiny.
And it says black and like the gloss. The label isn't important. What's important is the juice. You always know, by the way, you've got a high quality bottle when you've got a screw cap. Bottled and bond, the early times is a screw off.
Yeah.
There's some good screw off whiskeys. Don't let the screw cap fool you. This one is $23. You get a 7-year age statement. It's a 90 proofer. It's good, man. Nice, like caramelly brown sugar sweetness, but it is balanced by a nice bit of that like Jim Beam nuttiness, a little bit of vanilla, some oak in there. It's nice. See, you get the nuttiness. You can really taste the nuttiness in Jim Beam after you've had a bunch of other non-Jim Beam products.
$3.
$23.
Doll hairs, if you will.
Yes, doll hairs. No, stop that. Dolls are creepy. I would say if we did another sub $30 shootout, this would end up ranking pretty highly. You've probably seen some of these whiskeys before, but maybe you haven't seen some of them. Maybe we did turn you on to something new that you haven't tried, or maybe something you're on the fence about.
Can't go wrong with any of them.
No.
And it's a good little range of budget that's all reasonable. So whatever fits in your thing, I think you can't go wrong.
All relatively reasonably priced, and even at no matter what price, a lot of bang for the particular price point it's at.
Right.
over $100 bottles is super common with whiskey because whiskey has gone, let's all be honest, the whiskey shit has gone out of control.
Yeah.
It's out of control.
All these are under.
Yeah,
all these are under 100.
All these are under 100. But before we get out of here, we do have to draw the wiener from last week's video. Or actually, like last month's video. It's been so goddamn long. I'm sorry, guys. It's been so long, I almost forgot. We were giving away a Beard brand bundle. I have a beard oil, a scent that I worked with the good folks at Beard Brand to develop called Bold Fortune. And we have the beard oil, the wash, the softener, all that stuff. It's available down below. Definitely check the links because that is so good. So the winner for last week is Fantasy Soldier, and I almost said Fancy Soldier because I am dyslexic and I can't read. Fantasy Soldier says, retired from the military a few months ago and finally able to grow out my beard, getting it professionally trimmed for the first time next Friday.
Nice.
Very nice, dude. Thank you for your service, by the way.
A perfect prize.
Perfect prize, dude. For a guy that's grown out his beard for the first time, I'm happy we could put some Bold Fortune in your hands. You deserve it, my brother. Check the community, is it community tab? No, it's the about tab. About tab on our YouTube page. You will see our business email in there. Make sure you send us an email, give us your shipping address, and we will get that Bold Fortune sent out to you so you can take care of that nice, beautiful man you're growing out. So we'll get it sent out to you, brother. Congratulations again. For this week's giveaway, let's do...
What you gonna do?
Well, let's do some Whiskeys.
Let's do some Whiskeys.
Let's do a Whisky. We will let you pick either the new Skull logo Whisky or the Hold Fast banner Whisky. You can have one or the other. We'll give one of those away. So that'll be on next upload. Rules are, as always, you got to be a subscriber to both this channel and our After Hours channel, where we do our live streams and stuff like that. Definitely check out the channel.
Come join us Wednesdays at 8.
Yep. You have to be a subscriber to our newsletter, which you can sign up for down below if you're not already a member of. You have to like the video, smash that like button. You have to comment down below. This week, let's do hashtag buckbanger. That sounds like you're screwing deer in the woods, out just banging deer. Hashtag bang for your buck. Hashtag Whisky. So we always do one so I know what the hell we're giving away because I forget. So hashtag Whisky, hashtag bang for your buck. And we will draw a winner live in the next upload, which I promise will not be 3 weeks from now. We're going to be quicker this time. Thanks for Whisky for sponsoring this video.
Check them out.
Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Got some good information, maybe a little bit of entertainment out of it. If you did, feel free to smash that like button. That always helps us out. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. We'd love to have you on board. Hope everybody is having a fantastic week.
And we'll see you in the next video.
Lots of cool stuff coming though, guys. I've got some health and wellness type stuff coming. Find out some sleep hacks for you guys.
I'm so interested to see yours.
Yes. I got an Oura ring coming.
Because I geek out over mine.
We got some more of the overland build stuff coming. Some camping. Well, probably no camping content in the fall. It's hot already.
It was 95 degrees today.
95
on March
degrees.
7th.
Yes.
I mean, May 7th.
We'll see you next time. Deuces. Kick rocks. Bitches.